Since the origin of the sport, basketball coaches base their decision-making process off one basic method, the eye test. The eye test relies on experience, intuition, and film without data or supporting metrics. Coaches today are aware that there is a plethora of information available to them to aid them in their decisions. Unfortunately, coaches are often reluctant to even try to use this information simply because of the complexity of its format. It's ironic because the goal of analytics is simple: to find out what works. With our InfoViz, we created the coaching tool called LineUp. LineUp is the tool for a coach to understand team chemistry, or how the team performs with certain players on the court. The reason why this information is useful is because coaches can understand which of their player combinations lead to team success. Implementing this information on the court leads to more wins. Let's see just how coaches can use LineUp to gain this insight by using a season's worth of data from last year's NCAA champions, the Villanova Wildcats.
The radial bar chart
On the left displays the clinch rating. The clinch rating grades Villanova's performance with a given player, or soon-to-be players, on the court. This rating is a 0 to 10 scale, 10 being the best, 0 being the worst. This rating is calculated using a weighted average of basketball guru Dean Oliver's 4-factor stats, which include a high effective field goal percentage, a high rebounding rate, a low turnover rate, and a high free throw rate. Please remember that all of these metrics are the team stats when a player is selected. Just by looking at
the radial bar chart,
Ochefu has the highest clinch rating, which in turn means that the team performs best with Ochefu on the floor. Hovering my mouse over his part of
the radial bar chart,
I can see in the table below how great Villanova's stats are with him on the floor. I can also see how great Villanova performs using the adjacent scatter plot of offensive versus defensive efficiency. The color of the points corresponds to the clinch rating, and the size corresponds to the number of possessions, or the frequency of their playing time. Looking at Ochefu, the team has an amazing 119.3 offensive efficiency and 90.9 defensive efficiency. We can see how the high clinch rating corresponds to success, and that Villanova is outscoring opponents by almost 30 points with Ochefu on the floor. So let's select him. The Viz has updated to now show Villanova's performance with Ochefu when paired with another teammate. For example, when Ochefu is paired with Bridges, Villanova has a 7.7 clinch rating. From the table at the bottom of the screen, I can see that the defensive efficiency has grown by nearly 13 points. I want to keep defensive efficiency low, so I don't want to add this player right now. Instead, let's add Booth to keep the defensive efficiency low. The table has updated and now shows Villanova's performance of Ochefu, Booth, and an additional teammate. Look at this anomaly on the scatter plot. It seems that the trio of Ochefu, Booth, and DiVincenzo is a great group. Unfortunately, we know to be cautious about this rating because we can see that they've only played a meager 11 possessions together, and I want a sample size larger than 50 possessions. As a coach with past experiences, I like what I've seen with Ochefu, Booth, and Arcidiacono, so let's add him. The Viz is updated, so now we are looking at all of the 4-player combinations featuring Ochefu, Booth, Arcidiacono, and a new teammate. Aside from the anomaly, all of the clinch ratings are pretty similar. So let's use the scatter plot to pick the next player. All 4 teammates have relatively similar offensive and defensive efficiencies, and knowing that a high free throw rate is key for our success, let's see which additional player has the highest free throw rate. Villanova has the highest free throw rate when Jenkins is added to the trio, so let's add him. Finally, the last stop at discovering the best lineup. It's clear that this 4-man group of selected players have only been on the court in 4 different lineups, and featuring Bridges seems to be like the best addition. This lineup, featuring Ochefu, Booth, Arcidiacono, Jenkins, and Bridges, is incredible. With a clinch rating of 8.4 and a high offensive efficiency and low defensive efficiency, this lineup is sure to bring wins to Villanova, perhaps even in key championship moments.
To the court with Arcidiacono. 3 seconds at midcourt. Jenkins gives it to Jenkins for the championship.